Nobody is signing up to run a race they know they're gonna lose. Nobody's like, let me train like my heart depends on it because I'm about to go lose this marathon tomorrow. I'm about to go get beat. There is science behind how the loss of hope impacts your ability to fulfill your purpose. People who are low in hope believe that there is only one way to win. And if that one way doesn't work, they stop. We are here to disrupt what? We are here to disrupt what? We are here to disrupt what? That takes strength.
Let's go. Let's welcome Ashley Kirkwood back to the stage.
Yeah.
So the vehicle. So you have your sales plan, your marketing plan, your operations plan. For everything you sell, you need a vehicle. Our event is a vehicle. It's one way you can sell an offer. I heard Dr. Judy say she did a challenge. That's a vehicle. That's one way you can sell an offer. There's also sales calls. That's a vehicle. That's one way you can sell an offer. So for every offer you have to have a vehicle because every offer has 3 components that must be fulfilled at any given time. So you have your sales, you need your vehicle. Operations, you need somebody to deliver the offer or you become the deliverer of the offer. So when most people are planning for what they're gonna sell, they only think about how much money they're gonna make. They never think about the sales and the vehicle for the sales, the operations, the team that's gonna deliver the offer, and then you have your marketing. Your marketing. Now, your marketing is not the same as your sales vehicle. Let me give you an example, and I'll use something that's really easy, right? The webinar is the vehicle. That's a sales vehicle I can use to sell it. But the Facebook ads is the marketing behind the vehicle. So if you think of it like a vehicle, a car doesn't move on its own without gas. Your marketing is your gas. It's gonna make it move. So you gotta have your vehicle. So you have your sales vehicle, and then your marketing should be pushing that vehicle forward. And there are a variety of marketing vehicles. Let's talk about some of them. Paid ads. That is a marketing, that's the gas, right? That's marketing. You also have organic content. That's gas. You also have, oh my goodness, there's so many things. So you have paid ads, you have organic. If you look at the paid methodology, the P in the paid is press. So within that, there are like 4 things that we talked about. Earned media, which means press. Where's Lenitra and Samantha? Boom. Earned media. They help you get seen on television. That can inevitably lead to sales. But that within itself is not the sales vehicle. You have to leverage it so that it gets you sales. Then you have, that is your earned media. Okay? Paid media. Now, there are a variety of types of paid media, and those of you who are in your portal probably know what they are because we talk about all of them in the portal, but you have paid media. Facebook ads is just one. Another paid media form would be you paying to speak on someone's stage. That's a paid media form. Another is awards. Did you all know that for every popular award, for the most part, until you get celebrity status, there's an application fee? So an award falls under paid media. For the Inc. 5000 list, you have to pay the application fee. It doesn't guarantee you win, but you have to pay the application fee. So I want you all to think about that. So we talked about, oh great, okay, we're good. We're in the money now. I have to open up this jacket. This jacket ain't really, they tailored it with it open. I'm gonna have to get some space. Talk to Dr. Lisa and get some more plant-based eating up here. I thought this jacket was a little more loose. Okay, so there we go. So first off, what we talked about is you have your this is my version of a car, y'all. Don't be judging me. This your car. In the car, in order to make it go, you got your gas. In this analogy, the car is sales. We're gonna say marketing is gas, right? Y'all with me? Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of different vehicles you can use to sell your offer. Lots of different ways you can market your offer. We talked about paid media. These are all different ways you can market your offer. So you have earned media, owned media, shared media, okay, so let's talk about earned media, right? So this is like your traditional PR. Owned media, this is your content. Shared media looks like JVs and collaboration. A lot of you could do this with each other. So if you have someone, like for instance, I do speaking, I do coaching, like business coaching, but I don't do, oh, you know what, this is a good example. So I do business coaching, I use content. Content is one of the, that's some of the gas that I put in my car to make the sales go. However, I don't provide my video team for you guys. So one of the things is like if I linked up with Ryan's team and we did a JV, and it was like, hey, for everybody in the mastermind, you get a content day. And like all direct it if you're in, the right levels and all that, So like that would be a JV. So then we could sell it. That would be shared though, because if he promotes it and I promote it, now we're sharing the stage. So think about how can you have collaborations. A lot of you are like, oh, well, I can't collaborate because I don't have a large audience. Great. So what do you have that someone with a large audience needs that does not conflict but would help them too? That's how you do it. One of my friends, she wants to get into coaching. And so she was like, hey, I want to get into coaching, but I don't have a lot of case studies, but I have built a multi-seven-figure business. You have a mastermind. Can I coach them on wealth building strategies? That would be a JV. Why not? We're not, you know what I mean? Like, what would be the downside of that for us? So that's a way you can JV. The problem that I see with JVs is people want to JV with people who directly compete with them or want to steal their IP. Trash, don't do that. Who said trash earlier? I think she opened the door. I think it was Dr. Dominique. Enno said trash earlier. Okay, open the door to it. Wide open. Now we can use trash on the stage. That's trash. Don't do that. Here's why you don't want to do that. There's a certain level of creative freedom that you need to operate in if you're going to collaborate with someone. I can't be creatively free if I think you're going to steal my intellectual property. This is not a lack mindset. This is just wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't collaborate with everyone. I have friends I don't collaborate with because it doesn't make sense. If we did collaborate, we would have to come up with like, hey, I'm going to come in and I'm only going to teach licensing to your community. You're going to come in and you're only going to teach this. And at the end, we're going to sell a joint offer together so that we just split it 50-50. So that our objectives are aligned. You see what I'm saying? So there's a way to do it. And what I like to do with collaborations, and this is what I recommend you all do, is I want to think through the collaboration before I approach someone with it so that I can present the benefits and the risks that I've already thought through to obviate them. So for instance, if I were to collaborate with another business coach, I'd be like, hey, we both have communities, but it looks like I only work with service-based businesses. You work with product and service, but can we do a collab where you only speak to product and I only speak to service? If they agree, that's perfect, right? It would make sense. So be careful about collaborations that just don't make sense. So really think it through on your end, but don't go to people like, I want to collab, it looks like it'll be dope. A lot of times people come to collab with only their hand out, not offering a hand up. So it's like, I want to collab with you, but it's like, girl, you don't market. Like one thing me and Audrey always talk about, she's like, I don't collab with people who don't market. Because why would I collab with someone who doesn't market the collaboration? You know what I mean? Unless they have a specialized skill set that I don't have, and then I bring the marketing and they bring the expertise. Or I bring the community and they bring the work. So for those of you who have large followings, one of the things you can do is you could go to someone who says, hey, you're excellent at what you do. You don't market. I already got a community. Why don't we do this? I'll sell it. You deliver it. Because what do you need for an offer? What are the three things? Dope. So if you can sell and you can market, but they can deliver it, well, now this is great. You get all your money on the front end and they have to deliver the services. That is the way collaborations work really well. If you are the one, like it can work either way. So maybe you're the one with the expertise, but you don't market, or they are the one with the expertise and you already have a community. That way you don't have to sometimes you don't want to just refer business out. You could decide to super serve your community with other experts. So think through that by thinking through sales, marketing, operations. And when you think of collaborations, know what you're bringing to the table. That way, if I'm approaching someone who already has sales and marketing, hey, you already have a community. That's amazing. You're doing great work. I could teach your community this one thing that I know they need. Here's how the collaboration would work. Here is what you would make from it. You have a community of 100,000, maybe your email list is 50,000. If only 1% of them buy, you'd walk away with $100,000, and all you would have to do is 2 weeks of marketing. And I'll write all the emails, I'll write all the things, you just gotta send it out. That's how you approach someone who has a larger community. Because if you approach them like, hey, let's have a meeting. Yeah, let's get it on the calendar. Well, you know, I'm trying to da-da-da. They're not gonna listen to you. Too busy, don't got time. Coffee time, yeah, no coffee time. Go with a proposal. And give them all the assets. Even for our speakers, we made them all the assets. We were like, send us your slides. We were like, we will redesign those things for you. Like, don't worry about it. So you want to make it really easy. But collaborations can be amazing. There's a book called The Dream 100. And it talks about getting your 100 ideal collaborators and then sending them lumpy mail or something in the mail to actually pitch collaborations. So if you don't have the audience you need now and you don't have the money you want to spend on ads, this is a great way to go. A great way to go, especially right now where people are more fatigued with offers. So if you're dealing with offer fatigue and you can put a new offer in front of your audience that's aligned, it's good on both sides, especially if there's a 50-50 split. So think through for the next couple of months, what are your collaborations? Another way to collab, and I guess this would actually fall under paid media, because paid media, you have your Facebook ads. Now, Andrew set a bar earlier. I don't know if y'all heard this. He talked about Google ads. How many of you own your name as a Google ad? Google pay-per-click on Google. So you can, literally there's YouTube videos on this, y'all. I'm not like a Google ads expert. But if you go on Google ads, I bought my name. So if you search Ashley and Kirkwood, it should come up like sponsored, that little thing. You can do the same thing for speaking. So with speaking, you can actually buy certain keywords. So when people search burnout speaker, you're coming up. You buy the right for that to actually have that keyword come up and be affiliated with your website. What I don't see people do a lot in Google ads to make it even better is, what if burnout speaker came up and instead of just going to your website, which is like level 1, it goes to a funnel. So it's like, are you looking for a burnout speaker? Let me give you the 5 tips that you need before you hire any burnout speaker that'll save you $10,000 on your next keynote. And then they opt into that. And then after they opt in, you get their name and their email, you have someone call them, or you give them another page that's like, okay, these are the top 10 things. Book a call with me and I'll show you how I'll get your audience rocking. Look at the testimonial below. Funnel. Because corporate executives, they Google for speakers. And whoever comes up first wins. Most companies, like I think it was like 60% go with the first person to respond. Hello? So pay-per-click. Don't just think about Facebook ads. Pay-per-click. Also think about YouTube ads. And I'm going to give y'all another tip. You can go on Upwork, post a job for $12 an hour, and have your own ads manager. Yes, that's how we do our ManyChat and everything else. I sent him like them. And here's the truth. I don't know how much of this I can say. Well, this is family. It's family. All of it. Okay. Here's the truth, y'all. I love hiring in the U.S. I love hiring in the U.S., period. However, my team, thank you. Where's the publicist? Lenitra, help me out here. Jeez. Okay. And my team, so we had some issues with the slides. I think Lux saw it because we did a private behind-the-scenes Lux experience about events last night, and I told them everything that I could in the time. And we had an issue with some graphics not being right and then the slides, but the event was starting in like 10 hours. My overnight guy, I'm sleeping, they working. There is a competitive advantage to having a day and night team. My law firm had us during the day, and they had overnight teams, so that our company is producing 24 hours. The beauty is it does not have to cost a lot. And so with graphics, with ads, with ManyChat, because if you hire someone in the U.S., they're like, here's my form. Let's meet. Tell me about your life first. What do you desire? What's your brand story? And all of that has a purpose and a story and all of that. But when you got 24 hours, you need something done, I go right on Fiverr. So my ManyChat guy is on Upwork. His name is, I'll give you guys his information. I'll post it in the group. But I do that. I hire on Upwork for that. Fiverr for graphic designers, we hire 3 to 5 at a time if it's an important rush project and get it done. We had 400 slides that needed to be designed in 24 hours. We hired 5 people on Fiverr and they got them slides designed based on the first 150 that were done by our lead designer. Because he couldn't finish it all the way through. This is also why you need brand guides and systems like Andrew was talking about. In your portal, there is a sample brand guide, like it shows you how to have a brand guide. What brand guides do, you guys, is it ensures that no matter who designs your stuff, it looks the same. You can also have a video brand guide. David, awesome person on our video team, made a video brand guide and told them she don't like when this happens and this happens. This is how our videos need to be. We need an end screen. We always have call to actions. Like a video brand guide helps so that if we have to go to someone else, it doesn't have to look like we went to someone else. So that y'all don't walk in like, well, who she used this year? Because this don't look nothing like, you know what I'm saying? Like she must have went overseas. I don't know what's going on around here. You should be able to tell, okay? For everything you sell, you need a vehicle. Sales calls. Challenge. Our event is a vehicle. It's one way you can sell an offer. You're marketing not just for sales, you're also marketing for data. In your portal, it shows you how to have a brand guide. What brand guides do is it ensures that no matter who designs your stuff, it looks the same. I help y'all land 5- and 6-figure contracts, but there comes a point in your business where you are the one giving 5- and 6-figure contracts.
You cannot afford not to come to this event.
You are missing out. There is so much energy at a place like this.
Everything has been epic. I've never been to a training where I've been engaged in literally every session.
This mastermind has truly changed my life.
My mindset has shifted.
It has allowed my business to grow tremendously.
6-figure speaking contracts.
Get in the room. This is unlike any conference that I've ever experienced, and I am a conference junkie, information junkie. I've been to all the things, but I have never been to an event like this.
If you make it from a certain spot, go back higher, go back further, shoot it again. And if you make it from that spot, then you realize, hold on, this may be too low of a rim.
The hardest thing to be in life is yourself. Why? It's because it's the noise. Too many of us are believing what other people are saying about who we should or should not be.
So you got to get your systems in order. So ads, you have pay-per-click ads. So I say that to say, if you sell to corporate, you should be running ads. Ads are not for coaching clients only. Everything can be sold utilizing ads. And Google ads, I think we spend like $5 a day just to own my name. Because when I first heard this, I was like, I got to take action immediately. So the question I asked myself is, what's the closest I can get to it within 24 hours? I literally, like, what's the closest I can get to done in 24 hours? Well, I can't do the whole campaign, but I can start owning my name. And then we can build from there. And what we saw was an uptick in our website visits. So now I'm like, okay, uptick in website visits, no uptick in sales. Oh, I need to change my landing page, because the way that someone makes a buying decision from a Google search is different than the way that someone makes a buying decision from a Facebook ad. And we started running LinkedIn ads this year. Why? To test it. The way that someone makes a buying decision from a LinkedIn form is different than Facebook ads. And what we found is on Facebook, if I run ads, my audience, the people who respond to the ads will be diverse. But if I run an ad on LinkedIn, a message ad on LinkedIn, that's not the case. But our avatar, the person that we work with the most, are diverse women-owned business experts. So on LinkedIn, we still can run ads, but we have to run image ads, because this is like proven in marketing and in advertising. If you put a black picture on an ad, people assume it's for black folks. whether they need it or not. And so if you want to diversify who is looking at your stuff, you need to diversify who you depict in your marketing. If you don't want to diversify who is looking at your stuff, then don't diversify the images that you use in your marketing. So you do have to understand buyer behavior on all of the platforms. But for us, we never wanted to be chained up by Facebook, where they're the only platform. Also YouTube. So you have paid ads, you have YouTube, you have, we talked about Google. The other thing that is underrated by a million is Instagram. But Instagram influencers. So with Instagram influencers, couple of things. There's two ways to play this, and it's cheaper than ads. So everyone who's like, I want a higher return, it's cheaper than ads. Instagram influencers are great. It was a great strategy that we used last year. There's two things. There are pages on Instagram where it's like the wealth page. You don't know who's behind that page, honestly. You can run ads on the page. So if it's the wealth page, woman CEO mindset, entrepreneur facts, depending on what you're selling, you can have a VA or someone like actually look up influencers that are in your area and you run ads on that page. That's one way to do it, right? But then you have individual influencers. That's different. You can go to them directly and ask for their rates for them to post on your page. It's not a collaboration. You pay them, they post it. You even negotiate down to how long they'll keep it up, whether they'll put a link in their bio and all of that, and then you pay them to post it. We paid anywhere from $200 to $1,500 depending on who it is. There are some people who have agencies, like content creation agencies. Who's heard of the TikTok Mama? Yeah? Okay, so she sells ad space. What's interesting about how she does it and other actual creators do it is TikTok Mama will actually create you a custom reel and then you pay her for that and she keeps it up. So it's not just like her posting your graphic. It's her posting about your content on her page and she makes the reel. So it's a little bit more because you have creative content. Who's heard of This Is Nikki? She's like a content type of person. Okay, I bought ad space from her and she creates it custom. Now here's the thing. Worked for ET? Yes. And she was great. She was easy to work with. Your girl Soph. Anyone do like you sell something that involves like spiritual Christian coaching, that type of situation? Okay, well then I wouldn't so if you do something where you do coaching and that's like a big part of your messaging, there are like Christian influencers specifically. There's a page called Black Christian Influencers. You can hire her to research Black Christian influencers that you can hire that'll post on your page. The owner is Jackie. She's Jackie Holbrook. She's really great. And she did all the research, and she even has a package where she'll do all the research. She'll manage the whole campaign. I don't know how much it is now, but I remember looking at the rates and being like, this is a great deal. And she can manage it for you. Because what I found is reaching out to influencers one-on-one without using Jackie's services, they didn't respond. Now they may respond, but this was before I had followers. You know how anything for clout. Y'all know how people be. Now we got 100,000 followers. Now it's like, Ashley, girl, we've been cool forever. I've been meaning to go to lunch with you. I was like, come on, girl. You did not want to go to lunch with me. But I'm like, whatever, I'll take it. You gonna make my post, you know what I mean? Whatever. So now we can probably get a response. But like in the beginning, I could not get them to response. Even when I was like, I'll pay you this, they were just like, who's this lady? You know, so Jackie is like a broker. So she will come in, do the research for you. You can highlight all the people you want to work with, if she still does the service, I hope she does. And then she'll match you with it. And she gets either, I think, a percentage or a flat fee of like what you pay the influencer. So it's a really cool service. There are also other influencer agencies. So if you're in the health space, agencies you can go through. And they are almost like speakers bureaus for influencers. So you tell them, hey, I have a health offer. I have a wellness offer. I have a coaching offer for nurses. I need an influencer who can do A, B, and C. The agencies are less familiar with working with people in the entrepreneur business space. But if you do something outside of that space, they're a lot more familiar. So a lot of them are like health and beauty brands. That's the most common, but they are now getting into like some entrepreneurship stuff. The other thing is just people who you follow and you like, do a grassroots campaign. There's something called micro-influencers. People with under, I don't know how many it is, like maybe 5,000 or so followers. It's under 5,000? Okay. So micro-influencers, maybe they're not, and what you look for is not the number of followers, you look for the amount of engagement. And you go to them with an offer. You don't ask them how much it costs. Hey, I would love to post something on your page. We're doing a great influencer campaign. We'd love for you to be a part of it. We'll pay you $500 per post. You have to keep it up for 72 hours and put a link in the bio and do a story. Are you in? We start this date. Can we get you down for 2 posts? Because otherwise, if you ask someone who doesn't ordinarily do this, what's their rate, all they're going to do is stall you out because they don't know. And they don't want to just say, I don't know. So they're just going to be like, oh, let me think about it. Yeah, some of y'all may have done that. A company be like, send me a proposal. You'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it right when I get home. And you get home, you're like, I don't know what to charge these people. I'm not sending anything tonight. And then time goes on, and then you'd be like, it's too late. They probably hired someone else. That's literally like, that's just human psychology 101. If you have any sense of I don't know what the heck I'm doing, what you do, what your body does is delay. It'd be like, ooh, fear over there. I'm just going to, and then you'd be like, when company asks for a proposal, I'd be like, did you send a proposal? You'd be like, one step at a time, coach. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? Are we getting to the money or are we not getting to the money? So same with influencers. So I recommend that also with licensing. Some of you have your own programs and you want to either have your material licensed in a program or you want to license someone else's stuff. Go to them with an offer. Do not wait for them to send you your rates. Most people do not know their rates. Okay, so we got earned PR, earned media, owned media, shared media, paid media. Any questions about this? Okay, awesome. All right, do we have a virtual fillable? Oh, Jan said we have a virtual fillable mastermind day book here. Thank you, Jan. All right, okay, so we talked about North Star offer. Now write down your Q4 total revenue goal. So include October, November, December. So just so you guys know, if you're on the quarter system and you're on a 12-month cycle, am I saying that right, Nisha? What's the proper term? Is that right? Okay, quarterly system, but there's like some fiscal year. Okay, so depending on when your fiscal year starts and ends, right? So we're January to December. Our Q1 is the first 3 months of the year. Your Q2 is the next 3 months of the year. Your Q3 is the next 3 months of the year. Your Q4 is the last 3 months of the year. Does that make sense to everybody? Just making sure we're all on the same page. So what do you want to earn from in October, November, and December? Cash collected. Now, some of y'all may be like, contract signed, but do cash, if you're going to do that, do cash collected and contract signed. Track both. Why track both? Because you need to know where your cash flow is coming from. You need to, because if you close a $500,000 contract, but they don't pay you until 2028, you ain't got $500,000. You got $100,000 or whatever that deposit was, so we always track both. The reason it's good to track both is because if you secure money in 2023 that you'll be paid out on in 2024 and 2025, now you're able to have a long-term plan for how many people you can hire and what you can do. We like to hire within our recurring revenue, full-time salaries. Meaning if we have $300,000 recurring revenue, we take a percentage of the recurring revenue, not the one-time revenue from every other launch, and we decide how we're going to hire. Now, our accountant, she ain't on here, so she ain't gonna hear about this. Don't tell her. Y'all know who she is. Our accountant's like, based on how much you make, you need to be spending $80,000 a month on team. I was like, well, hold on now, baby. Hold on. I don't hire people. I don't look at the projected or whatever. I look at the recurring because it gives me more of a safety net to ensure that I have someone's salary for the next 90 or 6 months. Now, if you don't have any recurring revenue, what you do is you save up a certain percentage of their salary. Make sure you can pay people for at least that 60 days, and you need to make sure you use that sales activity tracker and make sure that their position is producing revenue. There's 2 ways somebody can produce revenue as a team member. They can make me money or they can make me time. But if you ain't making me money and you ain't saving me time, it's only a cost. And for small businesses, we need to have profitable teams. We can't really afford to be on the train of like, well, you know, onboarding takes 18 months and you got to give people a chance for 2 years and you got to hope that the Lord finds them around year 3 and they get saved on year 4 and they start making your money on year 5. We don't have time for that. Like, you really need your team within 90 days to be making you money, saving you time. And you have to know what the goal of that position is. So you need KPIs for your roles. That's really important. And they can be activity-driven and outcome-driven. So activity-driven is, I expect, like for this conference, I expect 6 reels to be posted per day and a carousel. That's an activity. Outcome is, I also want 200 people to register for our after party based on our organic content. That's an outcome. If we do the activity, we will get the outcome. Y'all see the difference there? Okay, cool. So write down your Q4 revenue goal, and then you want to break that down by month. Now, October has already happened. How many of you have looked at your October numbers? Raise your hand. Okay. Some people. So you already know what October is, so use the real number for October. Put in the November number that you can reach. Put in your December number. And then in October, you already did your launches for October. So November and December, now, I am not saying all of y'all should do a live event in November, a live event in December. I'm saying choose your vehicle, write out your sales vehicle, and also write out the gas you're going to utilize for November and for December. If you do this on the front end, what will happen is you start to see either you have capacity to do what you want to do, or you don't have capacity yet to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because theoretically, it's great. But in practice, the time has to come from somewhere. And when I was not making any money in my business, or not a lot of money in my business when I first started, it was no money at first. For some reason, I thought I could run 20 businesses. It didn't make no sense. I wasn't making no money, but I thought I should just start 20 of the businesses that weren't making no money. Only when I started actually making 7 figures, 6 figures, that I was like, okay, I need to narrow. And every year I would cut offers. In the beginning, I was adding offers because what I was doing is this, and this may be where some of you are at or some of you came from, and you want to make sure you don't get to this point. Because this is what I see a lot of newer businesses do that keeps them stuck. So you have, let's call this offer 1, right? And offer 1, it hasn't really taken off yet. So right in around month 3, the 3-month mark, you start saying, well, offer 1 ain't working, so then now I'm going to start offer 2. Right at the 3-month mark, well, offer 2 ain't hitting, so now I'm going to try offer 3. Same thing. What you don't realize is, and that's what actually happens. So this is reality, right? What we think happens is this. We think we have offer 1, right at the 3-month mark, offer 1 ain't working, so we think offer 2 gonna do this, off the back of offer 1. Then that offer ain't working, then we like, okay, well, offer 3 definitely gonna take us higher. But that's not the reality, because every time you start a new offer, you have to have 3 things. What are they? So if in month 3, I got this one kind of dialed in, it just hasn't started to produce money yet, but then I changed course, now my audience has to get reacclimated to a new sales language, a new marketing, and a new offer. This offer 1 versus offer 2 is very different than what I recommend people do, which is you have offer 1, month 3, you're not seeing the results you want, so then you have offer 1.1. You iterate on the offer, you don't ditch it. You dial in your marketing message, you dial in your language, and I was talking to Candace about this, and she said it was helpful, so I'm gonna tell it to you guys. You should get coached on action, not theory. So don't come to the calls like, hey, I wanna land a contract, what'd I do? No. Come to the calls like, I wanna land a contract, this is the email I sent out. How do I make it better? Hey, I've been posting every day, I'm not getting traction, these are my last 3 posts. How do I make it better? Get coached on action, not theory. Hey, I'm thinking of doing a challenge. Not as good as, hey, I did a challenge, or I'm doing a challenge, this is my landing page, how do I make it better? Get coached on action. That way, we can help you go from 1 to 1.1. But if call 1, you on offer 1, call 2, you on offer 2, call 3, you on offer 3, it's harder for you to get momentum, because what happens is when you do this, you do offer 1, then you do 1.1, then you do 1.2, then you do 1.3, and then all the people who saw your offer that didn't buy these first 3 months, they start telling people in month 4 about your offer because you've been consistent. We get 77,000 marketing messages a day. They didn't see your post, that's why they didn't like it. But they may see it the third time, and the fourth time, and the fifth time, and it all builds. So you have to start iterating on your offer, not just like changing course. Even the mastermind, it's an iteration of the academy. The paid framework was in the academy, it's in the mastermind. We iterated on the content. So you don't have to start over each time. And if you do have to start over, that we could talk about that later. But if you do have to start over, that's kind of a different strategy. But you want to iterate, not just wholesale do it over. So in November and December, write down what is going to be your vehicle, what's going to be your gas. And write out the number of emails you're going to send out to promote it, and if you're going to do any corporate outreach. So you're going to have to choose what's actually relevant for you. And on here, we also have your weekly activity goals. So for each of the Q4 weeks, right, we have about 8 weeks left. Man, that's going fast. Write out your activity goals each week. That's on page 22. Yeah, page 22. Page 22. So 1 through 4, you're going to write out your weekly activity goals for the week, and you're going to really do 1 through 8. You know, you're going to recreate this 1 through 8. And I would recommend doing it in your sales calculators. In the mastermind, you have a sales calculator. If you look at the bottom of that sales calculator template, it actually gives you you can plan for all 12 months. It has different tabs for each month. So if you write it out in there, it'll actually give you all of the activities that you can actually do. So you got to write out your activity goals. And why is this planning process important? It's important because when you see it on paper, you see how much you have to do. And then you can adjust. Like Dr. Judy was saying, hey, I don't have time to do 700,000 pitches this month. I could do 50. I could do 100. And so if you can only do 50 or 100, the way we coach that action is very different than if you could do 3,000. Your margin of error at 3,000 is way higher than your margin of error at 50. If you can only do 50 pitches, well then we got to make sure them pitches are fire. And we need to not do just a regular pitch. We need to have a direct mail campaign that coincides with your pitch, that coincides with your call campaign, that coincides with another direct mail campaign. We need to develop an integrated strategy so that they actually get the content. But if we got 3,000, we could just send some emails and see what we get back. We'll get feedback that way. And you're marketing not just for sales, you're also marketing for data. A lot of people feel like I'm marketing for sales, and it's a level of desperation that comes with that. You are a scientist. You are marketing for data. When you put out a new piece of marketing content, you are putting out a hypothesis. You don't know whether that's going to work or not. There's not a coach in the world that could be like, if you just say this one thing, it'll work every time. Because if they're good at marketing, they're not just saying one thing and it's working every time. They're trying different messages as the market shifts. I don't know if you've heard this, but there are times in the economy where we are in a more hope-filled economy, meaning everything is working, cash is flush, people getting checks that probably shouldn't even get them. Make sure you're in the room for the video tomorrow. It's going to be good. So all this stuff. But then sometimes we're in like a more like fear-filled economy where people are like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, my God. Your marketing message has to adjust to the demands of the market. So you have to be testing different marketing messages. You are a scientist. You are not only marketing for sales, you're marketing for data. Partnerships and collaborations. I want you to think of 2 collaborations or partnerships that you can pitch in Q4 that is relevant for your offer, whether you sell to corporate or you sell to the coaching clients. You want to find out, like, what are the offers that are relevant? And then I want you to make a commitment and sign on here that you're going to actually do the plan. So you may want to take some even more time to really think through that plan, okay? And then for you all who are selling right now, offers and things of that nature, there's levels depending on who you're selling to. There are some companies right now that are trying to spend more money because they didn't spend all the money in their budget. Those folks are willing to pay more, which is why we don't recommend just going in with one-off offers when you're selling to corporate. Give them a plan. You can also market the benefits of paying in Q4. If you are a business owner and you have a $500,000 tax liability and you have no way to get that down, you should be investing in certain elements of your business. How many of you sell services to business owners? Raise your hand. Sell services to businesses, companies, corporations, schools. There are benefits to them investing with you. So on page 24, it gives you some benefits of buying in quarter 4. Tax write-offs, Clients can prepay for services. We had several clients prepay for our legal services for the entire year, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, because they wanted a particular benefit. Year-end budget spend. Many companies and colleges are trying to spend that money. For the government, if you do anything with government contracting, September is your month. You want to make sure before September 28th, you are bidding on all of those contracts because they are now on a deadline, and government don't really move fast often. So somebody said no. So you want to make sure that you're getting in. Then new year planning. Clients can start the new year with a clear plan by engaging with your services. So right now, this is a great time to start working into your marketing message and your content the benefits of buying in Q4. And you won't say these are the benefits of buying in Q4. You'll work it in. You'll work it in, and work it in with a story. For those of you who are revenue generating businesses, you know how great it feels to make all that money and how bad it feels to pay it all to the government for services you don't get. I don't get no government services. You know what I mean? So like, if you're a business, you're gonna pay $100,000 to the government, you could have put that money in a vehicle that would have gotten you more benefits than just giving it away, which you're not giving away. I agree with paying your taxes, but you know what I mean. Don't be quoting me. They be like, lady influencer says, you get nothing from the government. Don't pay your taxes. Speak your way to cash. This ain't tax your way to cash. So those are some things to keep in mind, okay? So I want you guys to keep those things in mind. Now, what we want to do next with the time that we have before we go to lunch is we want to do some hot seats. So I want to hear, based on your Q4 plans, what you're thinking about, some of the challenges that you are having, things you want us to think through, or opportunities, because everybody ain't got a challenge. So you may have an opportunity, like, hey, I just want to accelerate my growth in this area. Lenitra, I saw your hand first.
We are going to get back to this good episode in just a second, but I have a question for you. Can I help you build a $25,000 offer, like one that you could sell to small businesses or large businesses alike? And can I do it for free? Because that's exactly what I'm doing at the end of this month at the Your First Corporate Offer Summit. For 2 days, I'm going to show you on day 1 how to build your corporate offer, and on day 2 how to sell your corporate offer, and it's going to blow your mind. We have had thousands of students sign up for this summit, and they have always gotten value, but I feel like you're VIP if you're watching this episode. So if you get a VIP ticket, I'm going to hand deliver to you 50 corporate offers and the prices that you can charge for them, so you don't even have to think about whether or not this offer is quote unquote good. Now, we're also going to give you an opportunity to upgrade to a platinum ticket, which would allow you to get one-on-one coaching from me during the summit. Everyone with a platinum ticket gets at least one-on-one question time with me during the summit. So you get to ask your question, come on Zoom, and I'll coach you live right there. Look, whether you get a free ticket, a VIP ticket with the workbook, or you upgrade from VIP to platinum, you are going to have a great time. And if you want to sell higher tiered offers, this is the summit that you have to attend to. So go to speakyourwaytocashsummit.com and get a ticket to the Your First $25,000 Offer Summit. And I'll see you there.
Oh, is there a mic? Yes. I just want to say that the mastermind is very bougie and refuses to get up and go to the mics. And so they're just like, come to us. I don't know, the clients, they just come to me.
So we're talking through our Q4 plan, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for November, I want to do a webinar. I already have the sales page done in the emails.
Okay.
It's going to be a webinar on how to land your dream feature. And my goal during the webinar is to upsell and have 2 offers. One is my retainer offer, and one is group coaching.
Okay, so you have your vehicle
is webinar.
Okay, it's webinar. Mm-hmm. And your goal is to sell your offer. Uh-huh. And it's either done for you services, mm-hmm. like you do it for them, or you show them how to do it, like coaching.
Right.
Are the goals aligned? So done for you is like, I'll get you PR. Coaching is I'll show you how to get your own?
The coaching is getting press ready, but along the way, I'm showing them how to get their own press.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. And the done for you is you do it for them.
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, I talked to you about that. Yeah, pitching press, that's a lot of time. I like that. Okay, mm-hmm. So you will pitch them for press, and you have the 100% success rate.
Right.
Okay, great. And how much is the done for you?
The done for you starts at $3,000 per month.
3,000 a month. What is that a year?
If you do 6 months is what I recommend is 18K.
Okay. So wait, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if it's $3K per month, if they prepay for 6 months, you should give them like a cut. So I would do like a 15K only if they prepay.
Okay, that's
because
good.
that, like, knowing that cash flow and getting it all up front means you don't have to deal with defaults. You don't have to deal with, like, let me go chase you and get your money. Like, you don't get to do none of that.
Right.
So that is I don't know if y'all realize this. When people don't pay your balances, it costs your business money to hire someone to go and chase them. Like, we ain't running no bill collecting agency.
Right.
So you have to keep that in mind. Seriously. So if you don't have to pay people to go and chase people, that client costs you less to deliver upon than a payment plan client. Because if you have payment plans, can you update my card? Can you do that? That's capital. It costs you, which is why you always should charge more for a payment plan, because your administrative costs of administering a payment plan go up.
That makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Do y'all got that?
That's good.
So this is why, because some people think like, is it just like a sales thing? No, if you have a team, it will cost me more to service your account based on the way you pay. If someone pays in full, it costs me less to service that account than someone who does a payment plan. I'm cool with it, but you gotta have someone to do that. I've had people who've had to like literally like strong arm corporate clients to get their money. And it's not that they won't pay them, it's just that the bureaucracy of a large corporation or a school entity or a college is just otherworldly. So you should account for that in your pricing for sure. Now, here's what I wanted to say. If this helps them pitch press, right?
Yes.
And this gets them press ready, but they can also get press here, right?
Correct.
I don't know if I would advertise this as getting press ready.
Right.
Because when you are marketing towards the outcome they desire. The outcome they desire is getting press. So the outcome I would market is get press in 90 days. Now, I would develop my program so that they're pitching press within the first 30 days.
Right.
Or they are pitching press within the first 2 weeks. And if they have to get press ready, what I would do is I would say, okay, now this is all the pre-work you got to do in the first 2 weeks so that you're press ready by the 14th day of the program. So give them a list of things they have to accomplish and make it really strict.
Good.
And so for anyone who helps with this kind of stuff, like teaching people how to do stuff, the more certainty with which you can speak, the more belief you build in your buyer. That level of certainty, though, goes both ways. I'm confident in our system. I'm not confident in people's work because I don't know it until I know it. So you have to tell them, hey, if you do these things, these are the results that we believe will happen. And tell them, I have a 100% success rate, so I won't do it for you, but I'm going to give you 20 pitches that landed my clients on X, Y, and Z stations. And then I'm going to teach you how to create your own and make it your own. And be really strict with them because they want to get press.
Right.
And at the end of your webinar, I would sell one offer.
Okay.
With 2 levels. One is the done for you level, one is the coaching level.
That's good.
So it'd be like, hey, we have a program. It's a 6-month program. It's 30, what did I say it was? 18,000. Okay. So your program is, your program price is $18K if they do the done for you, which is first off, by the way you're about to set this up, you're going to sell so much of this because nobody wants to do any work. So this is going to be so attractive. Because imagine going to a webinar and they're not trying to teach you how to do it. They're like, I can do it for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think it'll be great. Most people are not trying to learn a whole new skill set, and they don't have to if they hire a publicist, a good publicist.
Right.
So $18K, and then what's the cost of the coaching?
I've been going back and forth on this. I'm thinking $997 a month, but I'm not 100% sure.
So is it 6 months as well?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be like 6,000, right? If they did all 6 months. Those are the right numbers?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you have one program, and we need a good name for it, a really good name. Ideally a name that's trademarks. When we do our asset development, the other asset we're gonna help you guys develop, your trademarks. You should own your stuff. That's really important. We got Core in the room, like own your stuff. I don't know, Yeah, we have a lot of lawyers in the room. I don't know who all is here. So we got 18K, 6K. Those are your two offers. You need a good name for it, but the name does not sell your offer, you do.
Right.
To be clear. So don't let names catch y'all up.
Right.
18K and 6K, they're both 6 months, right?
Right. I was going back and forth with the group coaching if I should do 90 days or 6 months.
If you sell it as one offer, my recommendation would be to keep as much the same as possible,
Right.
and then just show them like the two paths.
Okay.
So it's 18K 6 months, or it's 3K a month, or it's like 1,000 a month.
But you said if they pay up front, it should be 15, right? Or
I agree. So if
Okay.
so if they pay up front, then this would turn to 15, right?
Right.
And then this would turn to
5,000.
about 5, or you could do 497. There's the reason people do 97, 69, all that stuff. There's like sales psychology that suggests it makes it easier it makes it more palatable. When I worked at Enterprise and sold insurance on the cars, they said that you have to say like bucks versus dollars. So like, hey, it's only another $50 for insurance on your car. That could work. They put a lot of data behind that. It's called like economic psychology. So I wouldn't ignore it. It doesn't hurt to do it, but that's just why they do that. So just so you all know the reasoning behind stuff. So 3K, 1,000 a month, 15K or $5,000. They're both 6 months, and they have an option. Now here's something to consider. Think through, if someone has a credit card and they're on your webinar and you want to pitch this on the webinar live,
Yes.
unless they have like an Amex or something where they can just or a Chase card, like you need a high limit credit card to just give someone $15,000 on a webinar.
That's true.
So what you may want to do is say you can get started with either for a deposit of just $997. I personally like my deposits to be the same if I'm selling a multi-pronged offer because it's easier to say from the stage, and you don't want to confuse people.
That's good.
Yeah, so $997. And then that's your deposit, $997. And then on the next page, like you remember your mastermind enrollment? On the next page, you can have a button. All right, pay in full here, or
Right.
do the payment plan.
Right. That's good.
So you can automate all of that. And what I would recommend you do is when they go to that page to pay their deposit, don't just send them to the page. Send them to an opt-in page so that they can pay the deposit. That way you know everyone who's interested. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So now you get all the data of the people who are at least interested. Now for a webinar, I think that works really well because people are digital and they're sitting down. For a live event, not so much because it's like an extra step and it can get confusing and you got hotel Wi-Fi, a lot can happen. But for a webinar, I would recommend that.
And then my last question with it is, I guess I can talk about this later, but as far as the structure for the group coaching, I guess I can talk to you about that later. I was thinking about doing a hot seat structure because some of the things that I'm going to do, like do a brand audit for them, for example, I cannot do that for each person. So I was going to say whoever hops on the call during that time, then I can go through and do a hot seats with them each week.
So what I would recommend is first that you productize your audit. Make a checklist of all the things that you check for your audit. And then you can have a coach do it. We talked about like hiring a publicist. I don't know if we talked about that. Or,
Yes.
Okay, so you can hire a publicist, hourly rate, and then have them just go through that audit. That way you have an audit system. And honestly, if you have a system that you follow every time you do an audit, it's quicker for you. So I would have them submit a form right when they enroll with all the elements that you need to review to make sure they've done an audit. You sit down one day and you just do all the audits in 5 to 10 minutes each.
Okay.
Over the course of a week, and you give them their Loom video. And then when they come to the group session, you go through the checklist as a group and explain the reasoning behind it. And then after each section of that audit, you give them time to go and do it. To actually go and do the work. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you have them give you a date. You can even do it where, like, after that session, you send them a form and it's all right, put in the dates that you're going to have each of these elements complete. And then send them a follow-up email and say, like, all right, this is your date for it to be complete. Hey, can I see it? So you can, the more you productize in coaching on the front end, the better, so that when you bring people in, they have something to go through. So I do recommend for all of you who are interested in coaching and consulting, you are going to eventually have to hire a team. I wouldn't do it in the very beginning because I think it helps you get good at coaching to do it yourself for a little bit. So our first coaching program, I was talking to Teresa about it in the hallway. It was every week we met on Zoom.
Right.
And it was just me. It was me, and then we met on Zoom. You also get to know all your clients that way, too.
So you would give them pre-work, and then when you meet each week, you go over the pre-work together, like the why behind the pre-work?
Yeah, the why behind the pre-work, and then I would send them their Loom video. I'd post it in the group. I would get people comfortable posting in the group. You could do this low tech.
Okay.
Like literally, we would send the Zoom recording just with the Zoom link. It was not high tech. So don't think you have to be high tech. You don't do everything in the Facebook group. You don't even have to have a portal. You can now, through Facebook, have tracks in Facebook that say, like, this is module 1. These are all the videos from module 1. You could use Facebook as your learning management system in the beginning. You could do all your calls. If you don't want to use Zoom, go live in your Facebook group and tag everyone and have them write in the chat. I like to see faces, so I don't do that. But, like, you don't think through what's the easiest way for me to do this. Don't think through what's the hardest way for me to do this. Don't think through what's the cutest way for me to do this. Think through what's the easiest and clearest and simplest way for me to do this.
That's good.
So you can get it done. And then as your program grows, you will invest in the branding and you will elevate it and you'll invest in the technology. But every time you change tech, you have to learn a new system. We're building out a new mastermind portal from scratch. We're building out AI and all of it. It's been 6 months in the making. 6 months. I've had 2 team members on it. It's a lot of work to build tech out. So keep it simple, sell it, and then get your client results up, track all their progress, get really good at coaching, spend as much time as you can with them, tweak it, because if you do that, then it's easier for you to develop a group program and you know kind of what works for different people so you can develop your portal that way.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ashley.
Now, the only thing we didn't talk about, we talked about the sales vehicle.
Oh.
We talked about the offer. We didn't talk about how you're going to get people to the webinar.
Yes, so for my gas, for the marketing, I'm going to do content. So I'm going to be going live on Facebook and Instagram, and then, of course, posting on Facebook and Instagram, and then emails to my email list.
I would also do influencer marketing for you. And you could really play on the, you could really like play up the fact that you're a woman, you have women get featured, and go to pages that serve women. And be like, we need more women in the media. I want to feature you on TV. Like imagine that as a carousel. We need more women on the media. And the next slide, I want to feature you on TV. Next slide, come to my webinar so I can show you how we got clients on these platforms and have like little clips of The View and this and that and that. And literally, like, come to the webinar, and I won't charge you a thing. We need more women on the media.
That's good.
And look at all the pages that focus on the media. And I would invest $2,000 to $3,000 in, because if one person buys at this level, that's $3,000. Right. If one person buys at this level, that's $1,000. So invest the cost of at least one of your offers into the marketing.
That's a good point.
People are always like, how much should I spend? It's like, it depends on your risk tolerance. But at minimum, invest the cost of one of the offers. Especially if it's high ticket.
Right.
And then you can scale it up.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so I want everyone to start trying some who gonna try paid ads this year? Or next year at least?
Next year.
Because we need to accelerate results with that. Okay, good. Any other hot seats?
All right, so thank you for that. That actually helped a lot. So my question is about 3-pronged, I suppose. I'm gonna make it quick. So I already have the group coaching and I have private coaching that I offer.
Okay.
I've determined that my price is grossly too low, and so I will be increasing the private coaching a little bit more. So it'll now be $10,000.
So you have group and private?
Correct.
Okay, and how much is group?
The group right now is $300 a month with a 4-month minimum. That also is probably not enough.
Okay. 300 a month, 4-month minimum. Okay. I'm not even gonna ask you what you do because I know you're gonna say you do a lot.
Yes.
For 300 a month. Okay, and then what's the private?
The private right now is $7,500 for 4 months.
And you've sold both of these offers already?
Yes.
How many people are in this one?
8.
Okay. So that's. Thank y'all. Okay, great. And how many of this one?
Oh, I included those folks. So I've got only one private person right now.
Okay.
And
But in the
she's-
past, you've had more?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many total you've had in this?
Yes. 2, 4, 6, 7. Because some of them have now graduated because they've had their baby.
Okay. Now this is good. Okay, graduated
Yes,
with a
they've
baby.
graduated.
Shout out to them. Okay, moms making mommies. All right, awesome. 300 a month. How many are in this one then?
So it would be set. No, 7.
7.
Mhm.
Okay. So, okay, we got 300 a month, 7,500 a month. This is the offer. What's your sales vehicle right now?
Right now, it's sales calls. I'll do a webinar here and there. But that's what I plan on doing for November, December.
How many webinars did you do this year so far?
I did a 3-day challenge, and I did 2 webinars earlier in the year.
Okay, three-day challenge. So you did 3 launches this year so far.
Right.
Okay, how did those go?
Got lots of calls from the 3-day challenge, but nobody signed up.
Okay, so you pitched to a call for this offer?
It was $5,000 at that time.
And did you pitch this offer?
No.
Okay, but they had to do a call in order to learn about.
Correct.
Okay, so sales vehicle. Okay, all right, and then the
Oh, and
gas.
I did paid ads as well. The gas was paid ads
Okay.
for the 3-day challenge.
What was your cost per lead?
Let's not talk about it. It was a lot.
It was?
Yes.
How much?
I honestly don't remember the number because I tried
Like
to remember
$20
it.
a lead or more?
At least, probably more. My husband says more.
Okay. Husbands be keeping you honest, don't they, boy? Chris will have me out here. If I say one thing wrong, actually, you weren't making no money in the beginning. I was there. I had to go to work every day to support your dream. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what he said. You did not make any money. You lost money. Like,
okay, so you got the marketing. So you had the paid ads, which is good, and then you do organic content?
Yes.
Okay, how often do you post?
When I'm at my target, at least 5 days a week. Here
Okay.
lately, it's been about 3. And I've been trying to go live at least once a week with my Fertility Talk Friday show.
Okay, so So we got our marketing, we got our sales call, we got our offer. These are the 2 offers, that's it, right?
Right.
You're thinking of raising the prices? Okay, great. You have people who are in these offers. How do you keep in touch with the people who've been through the offers? What's their offboarding like?
So, they have a survey and they're done. I usually check in on them to make sure they're good. These women are like about to deliver their babies or are just kind of going through the pregnancy. Now, this has happened. I had one client to get pregnant right away, and so I was able to walk her through her pregnancy. She just induced yesterday. So this is now like sparked, okay, I can help walk you through your pregnancy, and I can definitely help you get through the newborn, phase, like how to take care of a newborn now.
This is like mommy concierge. And I'm gonna tell you, as someone who is incredibly bougie, feel like they did not have enough services for me, okay? And so I think, okay, we got everything on the page, we can start going to work?
Yes.
Okay, for the gas, you need to do influencer marketing as well. Because you reach you can't tell who your audience is based on any one thing.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like, in this room you could have clients, but in any other room you can have clients, which means that if you market on a page that just serves women, you can get a bigger return and you could see yourself having a lower cost per lead if the influencers are really engaged. That means I want you to do an influencer campaign, meaning we know we have a webinar a month out. We are gonna hire 10 to 15 influencers and do a campaign. And on our landing pages, what we say is we say, hey, how did you learn about us? And they choose the influencer. And at the end, we determine by hand the cost per lead per influencer. With influencer marketing, we've seen cost per leads of as little as $1.50.
Wow.
If the influencer has a good hold on their community. And it works better if the influencer makes the content.
Okay.
Because it's one thing if I just post your flyer. It's another if I'm like, hey, y'all, we need more mothers and da-da-da-da-da. I want y'all to go to Dr. Maya's and da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, that's totally different. It's like an endorsement almost. So that's what you want to do. And you may find that you get a greater return from ads. but your messaging is for a very particular type of person.
Yes.
And you have to clarify who that person is in everything you post. For those of you that serve a certain caliber of client, you may serve a certain age bracket, anything that you have that like narrows the scope of who you serve, every time you post, you need to be clarifying who that is. So it's like, look, you got everything in your life you've ever wanted. You got the bags, you got the happy husband, you got the marriage, but the only thing missing is you being a mom. And it's not missing as if it makes you like less of a woman, but it's missing as in like it's something that you desire, that you want.
Yeah.
I've been able to help dozens of women to achieve their lifelong goal of motherhood, and I want you to be next. If you've been struggling with A, B, C, and D, you need to come to this free webinar. But before you come, let me clarify. This is not for A, B, C, and D. This is for A, B, C, and D. And what this is not is me giving you free information and all of this stuff. This is for women who want a concierge service through what otherwise is a very impersonal experience.
Yes.
And I've been through it. And then you tell your story. Every piece of content, because what I find is people get good, they content, it'd be like, you got one good post, you'd be like, that post is fire. And the next day, you'd be like, I'm tired. Say, comment, link below. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it, I've been there. But if you're primarily using organic, every single post has to be fire. Wow. If you're primarily using organic, because you have to basically gangster the algorithm into showing your stuff to more people, not because it wants to, but because it's so many people that are engaged with it that they have to show it to more people. That's why your content quality has to go up. So you use stories, you call out who you're working with, you share personal anecdotes, you start it off with a hook. So a hook isn't always, learn how to make da-da-da. Sometimes the hook is, I was devastated when I got the call. If you read that first sentence, wouldn't you read more? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a hook. Start all your posts with a hook. And then move forward, and throughout that post, you have to explain who you work with, explain who you're talking to. You can even say stuff like, this is the point in the post where if you are this, you exit stage left because you're about to get offended. Like, talk directly to your person. So with the influencer marketing, have them make you content and help them with it, like what they need to say. And then your content marketing, elevate it. I heard you say a couple of things that I'm sure some of you in this room will say. I aim to, I try to, I sometimes. That means you haven't adopted the identity of like, I post every day.
Right. Because
if that's your identity, like I post every day. It's not a if, and but. It's like, that's what I do. You need to adopt that identity because you're primarily using organic. And I want to let you know, it's going to work. The reason we don't go after things with vigor is because we don't believe it'll work. Yeah. Nobody is signing up to run a race they know they're going to lose. Nobody. Nobody's like, let me train like my heart depends on it because I'm about to go lose this marathon tomorrow. I'm about to go get beat. Everybody gonna beat me. It's gonna be awful. I'm gonna come in last place. Come on, help me train, coach. Help me. I gotta come in last place tomorrow. I gotta get defeated. Nobody. Nobody, ever. I've never had someone sign up for my program. Show me how to make $0. Coach me like your life depends on it. Like, no. And what happens is in the beginning, we get an idea that gets us excited and we're like, oh my goodness, it's gonna happen, this is gonna work. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna post every day, I'm gonna do a launch, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And then we put out the post and nobody responds. And you know what we do? We lose hope. There is science behind how the loss of hope impacts your ability to fulfill your purpose. People who are low in hope believe that there is only one way to win. And if that one way doesn't work, they stop. People who are high in hope believe there is an infinite ability and infinite ways and vehicles for them to win. Which is why you look at some people and they have one bad thing happen to them and they quit. And you look at other people and they have 1,000,000 bad things happen to them and you don't even know it happened because of how they move. Because it doesn't matter if one thing happens or two things happen or three things happen. There is an infinite ability for me to win. There's an infinite ability for you to win. There's so many opportunities for y'all to grow your businesses that it'll make your head spin. It could take 1 second, one email, one call, one like, one post, and your whole life can change.
Amen.
It's infinite. And whenever you get in a room and you feel hopelessness, it's because you have been tricked and bamboozled into believing that there is only one way to win. And so when your one way doesn't work, now you can't post every day. Instead of saying, man, that post didn't work, but that's cool because I got fire for them tomorrow. One of the reasons that you can have confidence in your ability to win is if you know you're going to be consistent. Because I know if you ain't with me for the day, it don't matter because my tomorrow is written anyways. I'm going to show up tomorrow. What you going to do the next day? I'm going to show up. What you going to do the next day? I'm going to show up. What y'all going to do the next day?
Show up.
What you going to do the next day?
Show up.
What you going to do the next day?
Show up.
And on one of them days that you show up, you're going to win. But if you stop, you are halting your momentum. You are praying to lose. People think the only way they get to leave legacy is if they have a whole lot of money. But what if I told you everyone leaves legacy? Mm-hmm. You can leave a legacy of wealth, or you can leave a legacy of lack. You can leave a legacy that you are the type that reaches your goals, or you can leave a legacy that you are the type that stops. And your children see what you do. They believe what you do, not what you say. So, I say that to you to say to everyone, I don't want to hear about y'all every now and then. No, you do it every day. Why? Because Dr. Maya, there's a woman right now who needs to have a baby and she's waiting on you to show her how.
Yes.
And let's be clear. If our goal for doing all this is other people, how many of you feel like you're doing it for somebody else to help them with their legacy and all that stuff? Okay, some people do it. Let me go to this side. How many of y'all believe like you're doing something else to help them with their legacy? And that? Okay, cool. How many of y'all believe y'all doing it for other people, somebody other than yourself to help them with? Okay, cool. Now here's the thing. If you're doing it for other people genuinely, if it's for someone else, that means that when I don't feel like doing something, I keep going. But if every time you get hit with life, you quit, newsflash, it was never about them. It was always about you. Can we be honest? Or can we coach or can we coach?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like every time I'm like, man, that was hard. That was it. Chris literally, oh man, husbands, Dr. Maya, I feel for you because I got a husband that calls me out on the daily. Yeah. On the daily. He doesn't give me any days off. Calls me out on the daily. I was mad about something. I was like, this is crazy, Chris, and then this happened and that happened, and then the lady said this, and then this happened, and he was like, are you in this for black women or not? I was like, excuse you? Sir. He was like, Ashley, if you're in it for women and helping women win, when women disrespect you, when women don't treat you right, you teach them how to treat you. Because you're in it for them. You don't quit. You don't quit. And so we have to be honest about what we're in it for because that why is going to drive you. And remember the law of recency. For all of us that do hard work, which is all of us in this room, the law of recency says people will only remember what you did for them last. There was actually a study where they administered excruciating pain to two groups of people. Excruciating pain. And they gave Group A more pain than Group B. But at the very end of Group A's painful experience, they lessened the pain just a little bit, even though throughout the entire experience, Group A had more pain. And you know what they found? Group A said that it didn't hurt as bad. Because our brains are conditioned for what did you do for me lately? So if we know that, then we don't get irritated or mad when people. People didn't see your recent post. You got to post it again. Every day you got to show up. You have to approach them in different ways. And yes, life happens to everyone, but when you are called to be a leader, it happens differently for you. The way you carry it must be different. For those of you who want to lead communities, hear me when I say, you can't do what you want to do all the time. So now you develop your muscle. You learn how to deal. You learn how to navigate. The easy part is the going live every day, because that's just activity. The hard part is the character that you need for the next levels as you keep growing and growing and growing. Right. So get good at the discipline. This is like in basketball, we were just learning to dribble. Go live every day. Do a live post. Show up. Do more launches than 4 a year. Next year, I want to see you do at least 8 launches. Okay. At least. Because you need to iterate not just on your offer, you need to iterate on your offer delivery, on your webinar, on how you're pitching, on how you give the offer. If you do 8, you could do 4 where you go and take them to a call. And then you could do another 4 where you sell them the offer directly, and then you can compare. Because we are what? Scientists. So we're not just marketing to sell, we're marketing for. So you want to know what is the best buying vehicle for your audience. They may just want to buy right then and there. And you could definitely sell that.
Okay. Yeah, that has been easy to sell here lately, the group coaching. Now, the other piece, and this is more pressing because it's happening in 10 days.
Okay.
So I'm going to a gala for a foundation who's invited me as a guest to get in front of at least 15 business owners who are reproductive specialists. They own their own practices. I need to be able to pitch my coaching program to them because it helps them with their patients as far as their outcomes. They're able to get more live births if they have, a good coaching program like I have that they can walk their patients through. And obviously, it helps me to help them because they're now not feeling like they're a number in a fertility clinic. Now they have somebody who can translate, personalize, go through all of that. So now I have to figure out how do I position myself to these business owners who have my ideal clients, thousands of them, that come through their clinics. So how do I position myself in a way that we can work together?
And you're pitching? Are you speaking?
I am not speaking. She's just having me in the room. It's an invite-only type of situation. She has taken me under her wing to be like, I want to put you in front of these people.
But not on stage?
No, it's a gala, not on stage. Not on stage.
Great. Can you sponsor a pre-gala reception or a post-gala meetup?
Yeah, I think she let me do that.
All right, there we go. Because I wanted to, put me in a room. This, Look, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We doing something. We go together, okay? So look, okay. So I say that to say, getting in a room and having a network one-to-one, I don't like that. Personally, it's just not what I like to spend my energy doing, I'll be honest, especially at this point in my life. That's not my personality type. I'm more of a one-to-many, you know what I mean? Some people love one-to-one. They're going to go one-to-one everywhere. They're going to get the QR code on the phone, all of that. The best thing you could do is sponsor something pre, bring them all there, and do a 10-minute TED-style pitch talk. 5 ways I'm going to help you get your success rates up. Or 3 ways I'm going to help you get your success rates up with your clients. And then 1 way that will get you undeniable success and more money in your bank account. Now, I don't know if you all can, lawyers have rules about who we can take referrals from and all of that. It's based on your state. I don't know what your ethical rules are. There is a way we can do it. If there's a way where you can give them a referral fee or send them business or do something that benefits them financially, think through that on the ethical side. Is there anything you can do like that? And then secondarily, make them an offer. Like, book a call if you want this program. So I would give them 3 ways. Like, the 3 ways we've been able to help have more success is this. And you like mental wellness, the coaching, the this, like all of your framework, essentially. And then be like, and there's a way that I can bring this to your practice, and it won't cost you anything. And it's like, after people come and work with you, you give them a free, you could even do like, give each of them a free call with me. If they end up working with me further, then I do this for you. Check your ethical rules, what you can and can't do. But I would do something like that, like a TED-style talk, do it before, and make it really focused on how it's going to help their business, make it very good, very educational, and then do a pitch. And at the end, put up a QR code and have them book their call. And say, like, for everyone who books the call, I'll teach you, I'll implement the whole system in your practice for you. I'll give you the QR codes, I'll give you the emails to send, I'll give you, give them everything they need to refer you, and then set goals with them. I have a referral partner. They want us to refer their tech, and I'm not that good of a referral partner. I didn't do a good job, but I referred them as many people as I could because it was a really good tool and I used it myself. However, what I liked is they checked in on our referral numbers. They were like, hey, Ashley, we're at about 5 referrals this month. I want to get it to 10 by the end of the year. Is that a good goal for you? And I was like, okay, now I feel like I work for you. This is interesting. Like, I didn't know what I was signing up for. So I was like, all right, cool. How are we going to get it to 10? Just send out this one email, or let's do this one webinar. I'll do all the work. And I was like, all right, cool, that works. If you trust the product, you're willing to do that. When you meet with them and you're talking to them, share your success stories and share your success statistics.
Okay.
So that's how I would do it. And then literally I would package it like a system and I would put it in their practice.
Okay.
So when they check out, they get this call. You have them come to me for this call, and I take it from there. And I'll give you the QR codes, I'll give you the branding, I'll give you something to put in off the door, the window, the whatever. Like, give them the whole system.
Okay. So that would be more just almost like an affiliate with that, because I do have to be a little bit careful about what I say and how I position myself as a physician.
Do you have an ethical lawyer?
What do you mean?
Everyone who is a therapist, who is a lawyer, who is a doctor, you should have an ethical lawyer. We use Holland and Knight.
Oh, ethical lawyer? No,
ethical
I don't.
lawyer. Yeah, because your job, like my job isn't. So I have an ethical. I have lawyers on top of lawyers. You know what I mean? One of our lawyers is an ethical lawyer. So when I was advertising my legal services, I would just call her and say, hey, I want to do this campaign. This is what I want to do. These are the benefits of it. This is the downside of it. What can I say and can't say? This is my plan. And then she would just tell me how to make it legal, and she would write a memo letting me know how to make it legal just to, you know.
Right.
So I would talk to her about that, because here's the issue, not issue, but when you are in a licensed profession, one of the challenges is all the red tape you have to jump through in order to get to market and sell your business. Just hire a lawyer. You'll feel more comfortable and confident, and you can go after it. I see a lot of people use that, and they're like, well, I'm a lawyer. I can't do this. Okay, well, just, do you have an ethical lawyer? No. So if you care about ethics, just get an ethical lawyer, because that's all they care about is ethics. And they're going to make sure that you're protected if you have a good one. I use Holland and Knight. They're great. I use Trisha Rich. She's the head of their firm there. I could put her information in the group. She may either be able to do it or refer you someone that does, and they're a national law firm.
Okay.
Yes. And you know what else? Do you do referral campaigns for the people who you've had success with? Because this may be not something people talk about outwardly, but it is something that you talk about with your friend group.
Right. So I've asked my former clients for referrals. They all say, oh, I don't know anybody that is needing this right now. But I just talked to somebody the other day that was like, girl, I got at least like 3 or 4 friends going through this same thing. Wish I'd known about you, you know, that kind of thing. So
and then you say, who are the friends? Or can you send them this? Or
yeah,
can I send them a gift?
I give them my information. I need to get their information because they inevitably do not.
Yes, I have resources for your friend. I would love to anonymously share it. Ask her if she's interested, and then send me her email.
Yeah. And then I've had some to book a call and ghost because, you know, they're like, well, talking about it just makes me even nervous about this even more. So I don't want to.
But here's the thing. Here's what I'm sensing. If you, because they're like, okay, but I did this and then this happened, I did this and then this happened. And those are all the reasons that stop you from being consistent with the post, doing the live videos, doing a launch a month, is all the reasons why it didn't work. What we do, because we are smart, is we start building evidence against our own cases. And so she gave you a fire strategy, boom, you could do that. Mm-hmm. We've given you fire strategies, you could do that. You won't do any of it with vigor if the past women that did not buy are more important and louder in your ear than the women that have. Sometimes we allow people who don't even mean us any good to be the loudest voices in our heads, even though we've helped countless women to win, or men or whomever, or companies or schools or whatever. So you got to make sure they didn't buy. And then guess what? They didn't buy at that time. As we both know, they come back around if we're still here. So you can't let that evidence, like, don't build evidence against your own case. For all the women that work, I want you to look really intently like, how did we get that client? How did it work? Where did it come from? What do they read? What do they do? Where are they at? And like, look at the success that you've already had, because you've already sold your offer, which means you have some market research for that offer that it works. The other issue that you mentioned was the pricing. Pricing is a lot about mindset too. Honestly, I would ask people who've already bought, like, hey, what's it worth? The program that we have for you, it worked out. What is that worth for you?
Okay.
They may tell you 25 grand. What would you have paid for? I know you already sold, I don't got nothing else to sell you. What would you have paid for that? What's that worth to you? 25 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand. And on your webinar, what you're gonna talk about are those numbers, not just the other stuff. Like the offer, like look, the stuff that we're giving, the thing that we're talking about, my client said it was worth more than 150 grand to them. Some of them said they would have paid any amount of money to get it. And like keep them looped in. So your language has to elevate, and I think it has to also be more, you have to care more about those women because I know you care a lot about them, more about the women that you've helped, more about the women that you're going to help than the people who are saying no. The rejection is gonna happen for everyone. The more money you wanna make, the more you wanna be rejected, to be clear. That's what's gonna happen.
Because I do get discouraged when I'm like, okay, great.
Everyone does. And Dr. Maya, I get discouraged. We put so much work into our stuff.
Yes.
And then people reject it. And then they act crazy. And then they act like we ain't do nothing. They act like we was their ex-boyfriend that cheated on them in high school. We ain't that. You know what I mean? I ain't do nothing to you, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Everyone gets discouraged. I get discouraged. It's just that the discouragement doesn't drive me more than the possibilities. Everyone gets discouraged. Everyone has dark days. But what keeps me going is Teresa in the hallway showing me an email of a contract she's gonna land that she got while she was here. What keeps me going is hearing about at least $100,000 in contracts walking to the bathroom because y'all are doing so much activity. And so for every person or everyone that told you it wasn't gonna work or I don't wanna work with you or this is too much money, there are literally millions of women waiting on the offer that you have. You show up for the millions. You do not show up for the naysayers. They are there to make you stronger. That's it. Let them do their work. Let them do their work. I heard Michael Jordan talking about somebody who was talking crap about him. They was talking mad crap too. And he was like, oh, this is excellent. I welcome the opportunity to meet them on the court. Let them talk. Like, I welcome the opportunity to meet you on the court. You're not doing it for them?
Yeah, I'm not.
You're a believer too?
Yes.
Look, who wins if you lose?
Yeah.
You think the enemy wants all these brilliant black babies running around here in healthy
absolutely
households
not.
and all of that?
Especially not black babies, no. Or women of color.
You've seen the stats on like abortion in our community and all, like you've seen, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Who wins if you lose?
Yes. I'm helping to mitigate maternal mortality and morbidity by doing this.
Did you hear what you just said?
Yes.
Do you know the level of attack that comes against you when you say that you're gonna do that type of stuff? Yeah. You're looking at the people as like Sarah rejected you. It was not Sarah. This is a way bigger plot and plan. We looking at it like people talking crap about us. They don't even know they're being used by, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't about them people. You think somebody cares about one person being, don't nobody care about that. You have a mission that's bigger than you. Yeah. That mission is literally in opposition to the plans of the enemy.
Yeah.
So yes, there will be attacks, which is why the first thing you need to gain is discipline and habits. Because when you make a habit of going after it no matter what, you get stronger. But if you make a habit of retreating every time you have an attack, you're going like this. Well, somebody else said no. Well, somebody else said no. Instead of every time you have an attack, you go like this. Well, that knocked me off. But I'm going to keep going. And then you get another attack, and you get bigger attacks. There's a study that says the goal is not to reduce and eliminate stress. You need stress to get stronger.
We do.
If you do not put stress on your muscle will never build. Which is why if your arm is in a cast, that arm is not being utilized. That arm is not at rest, and then when it comes out, it's even better than ever. It's just great, you know what I mean? No, it's weaker because there's been no stress on the muscle. Y'all are trying to avoid the thing that is there and destined to make you greater. Like, you over here like, this is an attack, this is horrible. Meanwhile, God's probably up there like, she just got to pass level 1 to get to level 2. And she like, and you over here like, Lord, please, I just want to have more money, more clients, more possibilities. They're like, you let Sarah reject you and you quit. I can't give you hundreds of clients. You know what that will do to you?
Yes. And to do for these women so we aren't dying in childbirth. It's dangerous as a black woman to have a baby right now.
So you got to be more dangerous. Let's be clear. It's dangerous out here for a black woman. Well, I'm the threat. You're against the opposite. You're against the mission of helping black women win. Well, I'm your threat. You don't think that when Jesus walked into rooms, he wasn't a threat?
Oh, yeah, he was a threat.
Why are we walking around saying we want to be like Jesus, but we scared to be a threat? I'm a threat. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. And every now and then when you feel weak, which we all do and all will, you realize what you're doing it for and how you're doing it. Because when they reject you, you didn't curse them out, did you?
No.
You didn't slander their name in the streets, did you?
No.
You didn't talk bad about them, did you?
I blessed them.
You blessed them. You're a threat. You're a threat. Now couple that with expertise, boldness, and strategy. Couple that with learning how to tell stories. What did Jesus use?
Parables.
What is that?
Stories.
Couple that with getting a good team. Who was Jesus' team?
His disciples.
Couple that with knowing the word of God. What did he say whenever Satan came against him? You can't tell me, what did they say? Devils did what? They flee because he was a threat to the kingdom of darkness. Now, this is the part where if you believe something else is cool and you can leave and I'm doing with all that. But I just want to be clear, y'all are threats. We're over here acting like we are victims when we have power and authority. And the reason you're able to bless them people is because guess what? You still love them too. Because if you are there for women and mothers and all the stuff, you're there for the mothers that like you. You're there for the mothers that don't. You're there for the mothers that love you. You're there for the woman that can't. And she can't love you not because of you, but she can't love you because she don't even know who she is.
Right.
Let's just be real for can we a little y'all cool because we over time. Little minute. Y'all have to stop walking around like you don't carry gold.
All right now. Come on now.
Stop walking around like everything the enemy does to attack you will ruin you. Stop walking around like you don't know that Jesus Christ is King.
That's right.
Stop walking around like we are enemies with people. That is so insignificant. And the reason we keep going is because I don't do it for naysayers. I don't do it. No. We are here to disrupt what? I don't think they're going to be disrupted with that. We are here to disrupt what? We are here to disrupt what? We are here to disrupt what? That takes strength. The things that you are trying to do were set up for you to fail. That's what you're fighting against for real. Your mindset is not your mindset because that's how you were born. Your mindset is your mindset because of what you've gone through. The systems that you've gone through, because as though we want to disrupt systems, we all went through systems. The educational system, the healthcare system, prison system, I don't know. The what? Workforce, corporate system. Right? What other system? The financial system, the banks. $1 million businesses can't get loans. Financial systems. Trauma. The judicial system. There we go. That's better than prison system. Thank y'all. I'm going to need my PR to be. Samantha and Lenitra is not on. Y'all need to help me out because I cannot be talking about prison systems tomorrow. And I don't even know if I can say that threat line. I know my video team's like, that's about to be the clip. They're going to be like, what are they doing in there? You know what I mean? They're like, Black Women Sales Army is back. So literally, you're going to have to get stronger. That stress analogy I really love because so much of life is like, I want to live this soft life. I want to do this. And what it talked about was like, even with corporate athleticism, the goal is not to eliminate stress. The goal is to engage in deliberate rest so that you can put more stress on your system and you can still win. So the goal is not, I just want everyone to like me. The goal is that as more people dislike me and what I'm doing, I am now stronger. And so whereas it used to mean I didn't do a live video for a week when I heard some nonsense, now I don't even care who said it. That's the goal. You all are not eliminating stress unless you're trying to not grow. Your goal is to be able to handle it better, engage in deliberate rest, and think about everything in your life in a way that moves your mission forward. Say, got it? Got it. So we're here to disrupt what? System. And we're going to get what? Stronger. We're gonna get stronger, and we're gonna engage in deliberate rest. And with one of these thousands of therapists we got in here, y'all gonna get you a therapist. Y'all go get you a physical trainer. Y'all go get some SEO ads. Y'all go get all the things in the room. But we are here for that. So for who needed that? Who needed that? Okay. So look, y'all got this. For everything you sell, you need a vehicle. Sales calls, challenge. Our event is a vehicle. It's one way you can sell an offer. You're marketing not just for sales, you're also marketing for data. In your portal, it shows you how to have a brand guide. What brand guides do is it ensures that no matter who designs your stuff, it looks the same. I help y'all land 5- and 6-figure contracts, but there comes a point in your business where you are the one giving 5- and 6-figure contracts.
You cannot afford not to come to this event.
You are missing out. There is so much energy at a place like this.
Everything has been epic. I've never been to a training where I've been engaged in literally every session.
This mastermind has truly changed my life.
My mindset has shifted.
It has allowed my business to grow tremendously.
6-figure speaking contracts.
Get in the room. This is unlike any conference that I've ever experienced, and I am a conference junkie, information junkie. I've been to all the things, but I have never been to an event like this.
If you make it from a certain spot, go back higher, go back further, shoot it again. And if you make it from that spot, then you realize, hold on, this may be too low of a rim.
The hardest thing to be in life is yourself. Why? It's because it's the noise. Too many of us are believing what other people are saying about who we should or should not be.
Yeah, energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the